Right now, we are keeping a close eye on the forecast to make sure that you are prepared for winter weather across the state and in the Houston area this weekend. We have team coverage on how local officials are getting ready for freezing temperatures. But let's start with Kim Castro for the latest forecast. Kim, what do folks need to know as the clock ticks down?
To get dicey, Sherman, as we head into the overnight hours. Saturday into Sunday, that is when the rain transitions from just a cold one to a freezing one. Most of the moisture wraps up early on Sunday. However, temperatures are expected to stay below freezing all day on Sunday, and so that means we have this likelihood of a little layer of ice on the roads. I do not want you driving in any kind of hazard like that, so I want you to stay home on Sunday. Then the temperatures continue to drop. The coldest is going to be felt Monday morning when we drop down into the teens. Here's a look at future track. Today, not a bad idea to carry your umbrella, but it's a good day to get out and make some preparations. We're just tracking a couple spotty showers. Look at your Saturday morning. Widespread downpours possible, but still no big threat for ice. That all changes the later on in the day we go. Notice now we're looking at Saturday evening. Our northern and western cities and counties, Bryan College Station, Huntsville, you're seeing the first of this ice threat. Then that ice comes down through the I-10 corridor, and we could have some accumulation on the roads, which is why, again, I don't want you to chance it. Sunday is the day you just want to stay home. Notice temperatures are likely to stay at or below freezing all day on Sunday, so even though the precipitation stops, I still think that there's a risk out on the roads, and so travel is highly discouraged. Notice Monday morning, those temperatures are really coming tumbling down. Actual air temperature 18 degrees, but we're going to have some wind on Monday, so there is a wind chill. It is going to feel like it is 5 degrees outside. That is not a day that you want to have any exposure because that's dangerous cold. 62 degrees out the door this afternoon as you make those preparations, getting your supplies, just making sure your home is winterized. Throughout the day, we're going to remain in the 60s. Yes, you will be dodging some on and off light rain, but we are waiting. This is the waiting period, Sherman. The cold temperatures are coming to us by tomorrow, especially as we head into the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday morning.
All right, thanks very much, Kim. And TxDOT crews are hitting Houston roads ahead of this weekend's cold weather. Crews have been spraying a brine solution on the major freeways to keep ice from sticking to the pavement. KHOU 11's Jalissa Garza has been following crews around, joining us now with a closer look at their work. Jalissa.
Yeah, that's right. If you have been driving across the greater Houston area, whether that was yesterday or today, you probably have already seen some of those TxDOT crews on the road, or even some of those signs telling you to look out for those crews. Now, what they're doing is dropping brine on the roadways. While it didn't go down just yet while we were following them, here's what that means and why it actually matters. So brine is a simple mix of salt and water, and it's one of TxDOT's main tools before a freeze. Now, when water sits on the road and temperatures drop, it can quickly turn into ice. So brine helps by lowering the freezing point of water, so moisture has a harder time turning into ice. Now, it doesn't heat up the road and it doesn't make driving risk-free, but it can slow that first layer of ice from forming as quickly. Now, TxDOT says crews started treating parts of I-10 and 290 yesterday, and today they'll continue working across major freeways and secondary roads throughout the region.
Highway 6, for example, the FM roads, FM 1960, and this is going to be something we'll continue throughout the day, and we'll continue to look at roadways that are further south in Galveston County, Brazoria County, in areas in Fort Bend County.
Now, TxDOT says crews may retreat the same stretches of road multiple times if conditions change. And if ice does start to form, they can switch to a gravel and salt mix to help emergency vehicles get through. Again, TxDOT says the crews may retreat the same stretches of road multiple times if conditions do change. Now, a reminder for those, maybe you're out and about running errands, trying to make sure you are prepared for the weather this weekend. Reminder from TxDOT, you want to make sure you give the crews some space and room to do their work. Now, reporting live in Houston, Jalissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Jalissa, thanks. See a little bit of a wind blowing by you as well. We appreciate that. Now, take a look at this. A lot of folks lining up for gas. This is at the Sam's Club off the Southwest Freeway and Rice Avenue. Check out that line of cars. So get your preparations done today so you do not have to deal with more crowds, rain, and the colder temperatures tomorrow. And Harris County officials are stressing that even minor ice buildup could have major impacts on travel. They say residents should plan now to avoid dangerous conditions this weekend. Devon Raming joining us now with more on all of this. Devon, what do folks need to know?
Well, county leaders have been in preparation mode all week long, and here at the Houston TranStar building, this will serve as the Emergency Operations Center, activating first thing tomorrow on Saturday, and then they will be operating on a 24-hour basis depending on the need and the severity of what we're in for this coming weekend. County Judge Lena Hidalgo joined representatives from county departments, TxDOT, and CenterPoint Thursday to outline the county's winter weather plan. Officials say power outages are not their main concern at this point, but residents should still prepare for possible disruptions.
We've increased our staffing levels to over 3,300 folks that are scattered across the city, getting pre-positioned for this weather. We've gone out and inspected some of our critical equipment out there to make sure it's ready to withstand the ice and the cold temperatures.
Across the north side of the county, road and bridge crews in Precinct 3 and 4 are already applying de-icing solution, a process that will continue through the weekend.
It is an incident that has the potential to be problematic, but I'm confident that we will do our very best and we will really minimize the impacts to people in our community.
If ice or snow does accumulate, officials are urging drivers to stay off the roads until conditions improve. In Houston, Devon Raming, KHOU 11 News.
And this just in, several school districts announcing that they will be closed on Monday. Here's a list right now on your screen. We will, of course, continue to update this list as information comes in. You can check it at KHOU.com. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the free KHOU 11 Plus app on your TV. We will have extended streaming coverage there and a live radar that will stream around the clock. Also, download our app on your phone and turn on notifications so you can get updates on the go.